Morning to anyone who is watching. My name is Joras A. Cabusas and this is my report on Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act of 1997. I won't read all of the text here. I'm just gonna have a brief discussion with explanation. So, Chapter 8 to 13 Overview. So, my part covers the ancestral lands like measuring or identifying lands within ancestral domains and rights informants to uh, mediate or stop mga pag-aaway or mga frauds in indigenous people's lands, since some people exploit it or some people false that claims. Then section 53, identification, delineation and certification of ancestral lands. Now ito na section, it is to identify or properly give rights to the indigenous people or the IPs, since um, they also have different ways, different cultures, different way of life. They based it on the customs and traditions too. So we must respect that. Kailangan natin respetuhin ang kanilang panginginabuhay. Then, and individuals or families may apply for recognition of ancestral lands then. So para maka-own sila or bigyan ng ownership. Yan. Then section 54, fraudulent claims. So the National Commissions on Indigenous People or the NCIP has the authority to review claims such as lands that may have been acquired fraudulently. So may mga iba-ibang mga organization or mga tao na kumukuha ng kanilang mga land na illegally or in a fraud way. So in sa ganyang mga kaso or mga case, it may be cancel they may cancel such fraud claims. So kina-cancel ng NCIP after court hearings or to ensure fairness and justice. Then section 55 to 56, the communal and property rights. In this section, lands within ancestral domains are to be communally owned or as a shared property. Hindi lang basta nasa ancestral domains, mga ICC or indigenous community is na mahati na sa kanila, sa isa-isa sa kanila, para hindi lang ang isang organization or isang tao ang dapat maka-own. Dapat ino-own yan sa hati-hati sa mga indigenous people. Then, and if a person or a family already established it or already owns it, na hindi pa na enact itong law na to, it shall be recognized and respected. Then, section 57, natural resources within ancestral domain. So section 57, the ICCs or the IPs have priority rights over natural resources, since sa kanila man ang mas nangangailangan, since nasira sa mga lansangan halos or mga kabukiran, since at dahil rin hindi sila masyadong nakikisalo or nakikibahagi sa society natin. So outsiders may participate, but only with consent and formal agreements. Then section 58, environmental protection. In this section, ICCs/IPs shall protect and manage their natural resources. Of course, sa kanila yan ang kanilang ownership na yan ng national resources, dapat nila pangalagaan. So they must be with their responsibility too, and with the government support as well. Then section 59, certification precondition. For this section, walang government agencies or private entity may have any activities or project within ancestral domains of indigenous people without prior certification from the NCIP. So kailangan rin ng free and prior informed consent sa ICCs or the IPs na bahagi ng ganitong mga aktibidad. Then section 60, tax exemption. So ito na section binibigyan ng rights ng mga IPs or ICCs na hindi na kailangan ng mga tax. So this gives rights to ancestral domains to be tax-free, except for large-scale commercial use. So hindi yan mawawala kasi business-minded ang mga tao kasi. So exploiting such as activities na mag-exploit ng natural resources and tourism. Then section 61 to 62, surveys and conflict resolution. In the section 61 to 62, the government may assist in the surveying and outlining ancestral domains, while the NCIP have the authority to mediate or resolve conflicts related to land claims and, of course, applying customary laws when applicable. So, sinusunod pa rin ang mga customary laws nila, no, since nakikibahagi tayo sa kanilang mundo rin. Dapat natin sundin ang anong gusto nila sa ilang rights na sinusundan nila sa matagalang panahon para sa customary laws nila. Then section 63 to 64, applicable laws and remedial measures. Since we are basing on their lifestyle too or cultures, the customary laws kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, shall be applied first in resolving in conflicts involving ICCs or IPs. But when necessary, may mga legal remedies rin na ginagawa, such as expropriation for the public use or cancellation of illegally acquired titles. Now, so this may be undertaken to ensure fair and right justice. So mayroong karapatan na lang sila. Then the chapter 9, enforcement of rights. Section 65, primacy of customary laws and practices. In this chapter or section, any dispute or pag-aaway involving the indigenous cultural communities sa kanilang mga lands shall be first resolved using customary laws before being brought to the NCIP or court, since inauna dapat nila ang kanilang mga laws o mga customary laws, since nirespeto natin ang ilang mga pamamaraan nila sa kinabuhi rin. Then section 66 to 69 pala, powers of the NCIP. In this section, the National Commissions on Indigenous People or the NCIP has jurisdiction over disputes involving ICCs or IPs. So sila ang nagagawang paraan para tigilan or i-avoid ang mga malalaking conflict. So their main job is just to be a mediator, and they are authorized to hear cases then. So and enforce decision and impose penalties necessary to uphold justice. Then section 70, no restraining order or preliminary injunction. So sa itong section na ito is no court except higher courts such as the Supreme Court may issue restraining orders. So hindi kung kahit sa ang court pa yan ibibigay, dapat talaga sa higher courts or the Supreme Courts, na para sa ng Supreme Courts is sila ra ang dapat may rights para magawa ng mga restraining orders or refrain from engaging in certain activities against decision made by the NCIP. So in matters related to this act. Then Chapter 10, Section 71, Ancestral Domains Fund. Now, in this chapter or section, a special fund is created to support the delineation or the development or advancement and the protection of ancestral lands, including compensation and related programs. Then, Chapter 11, Penalties. Section 72, Punishable Acts and Applicable Penalties. So, sa itong session na ito is may mga individual kasi na nag-explain nito or hindi sinusundan nitong mga acts na ito. So, any violation of this act may result in imprisonment of 9 to 12 years. So, and then fines of 100,000 to 500,000 or both, including payment of damages. Then, Section 73, persons subject to punishment. Now, sa itong section na ito, individuals or corporate entities and public officials responsible for violating the acts shall be held liable. And penalties may include disqualification from public office and cancellations of licenses. So, wala talagang hindi dinidili na mga tao. So, there's no exemption in a people man or organization for those who may violate it. So, malalabag pa rin sila kahit sino pa man sila. Basta hindi ang NCIP properly na ginagawa ng paraan, hindi mag-violate sila. Then, Chapter 12, Merger of ONCC and OACC. So, in the Section 74, merger of the ONCC or OACC. So, sa itong chapter na 2 or section, the Office for Northern Cultural Communities and the Office for Southern Cultural Communities or the ONCC and OACC are responsible to promoting the cultural heritage, rights, and well-being of ICCs and IPs. So, they merge into the NCIP2 to strengthen services and implementation. So, nakikibahagi rin sila sa mga kagustuhan or mga ways sa NCIP rin. Then, Section 75 to 77, transition and reorganizations. And in this section naman is when a government officer or organizer changes its structures, it cannot happen instantly. So, transition period must happen. So, kailangan may transition period para ang mga resources can be transferred and workers can be reassigned properly. So, hindi basta-basta lang maka-change, may babago rin. So, mayroong proseso pang dapat gagawin. Then, Chapter 13, Final Provisions. So, Section 78 to 80, Special Provisions, Appropriations, and Implementing Rules. Now, sa mga sections na ito is about the special provisions, appropriations, and implementing rules and such, explains the special rules, budgets, and instructions needed to properly carry out the law. Then, Section 81 to 84, Final Clauses. The Act protects already existing rights. So, pinaprotekta itong mga nagawa na ng mga acts. So, pinaprotekta yan itong acts na section na ito. So, states that if one part of the laws is declared invalid, the other parts will still remain effective. So, kahit hindi na pwede or wala na, invalid na ang ibang parts, mayroon pa rin itong power or rights para ma-take action rin. Then, it removes all laws that conflict with it and officially starts after being published. Then, thank you for listening.